Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of our presiding official, the commander of 495th Fighter Group, Colonel Mark Massaro, welcome to the 315th Fighter Squadron Change of Command ceremony. I'm Staff Sergeant Patrick Fraley, and I will be narrating today's event. Throughout the ceremony, you will be given cues to stand or be seated at the appropriate times. Today's ceremony is considered an indoor event. Therefore, during the playing of the national anthem, military members in the audience should stand at attention, and our civilian guests are invited to stand with their hands over their hearts. At this time, we'd like to recognize some of our distinguished guests. Please hold your applause until all guests have been mentioned. It is our pleasure to welcome Lieutenant Colonel White's family, his wife, Kim, his children, Aaron and Alana. The Adjutant General of the Vermont National Guard, Brigadier General Gregory Knight. Vermont National Guard, Senior Enlisted Advisor, Command Sergeant Major Nathan Chipman. Chief of Staff Air, Brigadier General Stephen Lambrick. Assistant Adjutant General Air, Brigadier General Henry Harder. Vermont Air National Guard, State Command Chief, Chief Master Sergeant Brian Dusselblon. Commander, 158th Fighter Wing, Colonel David Shevchuk. 158th Fighter Wing Command Chief, Chief Master Sergeant Jeffrey Stebbins. The Vice Commander, 158th Fighter Wing, Colonel Adam Rice. The Commander, 158th Operations Group, Colonel Nathan Graber. Superintendent of the 158th Operations Group, Chief Master Sergeant Brian Senecal. The Commander, 158th Maintenance Group, Colonel Daniel Finnegan. Superintendent of the 158th Maintenance Group, Chief Master Sergeant Mark Winger. The Commander, 158th Mission Support Group, Lieutenant Colonel Brian Lepine. Superintendent of 158th Mission Support Group, Chief Master Sergeant Adrian Schultz. We would also like to welcome all other commanders, chiefs, first sergeants, friends, family, members of the 158th Fighter Wing, and the 315th Fighter Squadron, along with all others who are virtually attending. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the arrival of the official party and the playing of the national anthem, and remain standing for the invocation by Chaplain Wilson Treffs. Ladies and gentlemen, Chaplain Treffs will now give the invocation.
I'll use my big boy voice. If you're comfortable and able, I invite you to join me in prayer. Heavenly Father,
Thank you, Chaplain Chefs. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, the 495th Fighter Group Commander, Colonel Massaro.
Thank you, Sergeant Fraley. Appreciate you narrating for us today. Sergeant thank you for organizing this event today and putting this all together. It turned out fantastic, and thanks for battling the weather as well from South Carolina. This is great. Father Tress, thanks for inspiring Invocation, putting us in the right frame of mind to reflect on Colonel Barta's impact on the mission of the Airmen of the 315th Fighter Squadron, and as we set the tone for Lieutenant Colonel White's command. And a big thank you to the men and women of the 315th and the 158th Fighter Wing for setting this all up today. Thank you. General Knight, thank you for showing up. General Hodder as well. To all the other colonels, representative of the 158th Fighter Wing, thank you very much for showing up. And to the chiefs and other senior enlisted advisors, thank you for showing up here today and taking care of our airmen, our regular Air Force airmen, as they're integrated here with you. There are so many others that couldn't join us today. So friends and family of both Colonels Barta and White aren't here, but they're able to join us virtually as they tune in online watching us. Thank you for joining us from wherever you are. And there's some special people who aren't here with us today, but they're sharing with us in this moment virtually. I'd like to thank Mace's spouse, Ruth, and his two sons, Ethan and Noah. Thank you for the support that you've given your husband and your dad these past 2 years. Every command is difficult and time-consuming, but Jason stands out as exceptionally challenging. Your willingness to share with us your precious time with him so that he could return to good health, continue caring for our airmen, and strengthening our nation's security is greatly appreciated. To the White family, Kim, thank you. Thank you for your support to Chris throughout his career and being here today. Being a military spouse is a difficult role, and I truly appreciate the sacrifice that you give. Aaron and Elena, this is a big moment for your dad. You're a big part of who he is. Thank you for letting him take this opportunity to be a fighter squadron commander. It's a really big deal to be here today. The reason we're all here is to recognize a change in leadership of the 315th Fighter Squadron. The 315th is one of 7 very unique fighter squadrons within the regular Air Force. Its mission is to develop airmen through total force integration with the Air National Guard, to train to fight anyone, anywhere, and to win on the battlefield. That's a lot of words to really say what they're here to do, which is to win with the total force. The 315th is integrated with the Green Mountain Boys of the Vermont Air National Guard to develop our new F-35 pilots so that they can gain experience and become future experts and leaders in the F-35 community. And also to develop and season our young F-35 maintainers so that they too can become experts and leaders in their functions. But the squadron can't do that alone, which is why they're integrated with the Air National Guard. As you look around today, and really any day, it's nearly impossible to distinguish the regular Air Force members of the 315th Fighter Squadron from the members of the Vermont Air National Guard as we work on this mission. And that's so important. The regular Air Force and the Vermont Air National Guard have maintained an integrated relationship since 2004 when community basing concept began. In 2011, Air Combat Command, Air Force Reserve, and Air National Guard leaders agreed to stand up active associations, including the one here in Burlington, Vermont. 495th Fighter Group Detachment 134 stood up in 2013 and eventually became the 315th Fighter Squadron on January 9th, 2016. Its purpose was then to develop F-16 pilots. With the arrival of the first Guard F-35, which it's beautiful, isn't it? The Vermont Air National Guard is leading the way and setting the standard for total Air Force integration active associations as they also transition to the F-35. Although currently based in Burlington, the 315th Fighter Squadron has a rich history. It stood up in Mitchell Field in New York in July 1942, and just 9 months later, it was in Northern Africa supporting British ground forces in the effort to push Rommel's Afrika Korps out of North Africa. The squadron then supported invasion of Sicily, Italy, and southern France, while flying both the P-40 Warhawks and the P-47 Thunderbolts. And shortly after reaching a forward operating location in Stuttgart, Germany on VE Day, they returned to New York and the squadron was deactivated. Today, the 315th spans locations across the northeastern United States. In addition to here in Vermont, the squadron has operating locations integrated with Air National Guard units in Maryland, New Jersey, and Massachusetts. It's comprised of over 60 airmen. Thank you, Mace. A little bit of wind today. Supporting missions in the F-35, Block 30 F-16s, and F-15Cs. Annually, the squadron and its Air National Guard partners fly over 1,500 hours of flight time supporting the pilot absorption mission. Lieutenant Colonel Jason Mace Barta has faithfully and successfully led the 315th Fighter Squadron as a commander over the past 2 years. He has accomplished what many aspire to do and few get the opportunity, and even fewer achieve what he has done during his time. I won't reread his accomplishments. You'll hear shortly during his medal citation. But without a question, Mace has done a tremendous job leading the men and women of the 315th Fighter Squadron from his arrival in October 2017 as the squadron's director of operations through his command, which began on June 2nd, 2018. He is a devoted and professional airman, but nothing can illustrate more than telling you about a life-changing event experience he had during his command. As an avid runner, he was exercising on a treadmill in the gym here when unexpectedly and without warning he collapsed. His heart had stopped. He was alone in the gym when it happened, and whether you believe in a higher power, coincidence, or fate, I believe that the Lord was looking out for him that day, because moments after he collapsed, someone saw him and gave him initial first aid. They called for help as well. And within minutes, medical help arrived and saved his life. We are forever grateful to those who saved Mace's life that day. Had help not arrived when it did, we wouldn't be standing here today talking about his successful 2 years of command. However, after recovering from the incident and undergoing several medical procedures to correct his condition, and with the support of his family, the squadron, and his TFI partners, he recovered and continued to serve with strength and fortitude to serve the mission, see the mission through, and care for his people. His devotion to the Air Force mission and to leading our airmen while recovering from a life-threatening condition is inspiring to me, and I thank him for being who he is. He's setting such a great example of service. Thank you, Mace. You led successfully, you accomplished the mission, you cared for your airmen, you managed limited resources, and you've done these all well. Good job. Now to talk about Christopher Trench White. Trench was born and raised in Southern California in the heart of Los Angeles. He's always looked ahead to possibilities and figured out a way to make those things happen. When he was 6, his dad took him to an air show at Edwards Air Force Base, where Trench and I actually first met several years ago. And as he watched the Thunderbirds there, he knew he wanted to fly fighters at that moment. He and Kim met at an early age in high school, and now they're together and they have a wonderful, beautiful family. He chose to go to the Air Force Academy since that was the most likely way he could get into pilot training and fly those fighters. And here he is, having flown the F-15E, the MC-12, and the F-35. Today, Trench is coming to Vermont from Hill Air Force Base, having completed a successful tour as the Director of Operations in the 388th Operations Support Squadron, where he led and directed weapons and tactics, intelligence, and other operations support functions. Throughout his career, he has demonstrated a consistent record of top performance as a pilot, a leader, and an officer. He's a seasoned combat leader with over 1,500 combat hours in both the F-15E and the MC-12. He arguably is one of the Air Force's most experienced F-35 pilots. He arrives here with having flown over nearly 800 hours, started flying the F-35 in 2013, testing and shaping its capabilities during the initial operational test and evaluation phase, moving over to F-35 Weapons Systems Evaluation Program, helping to shape the tactics development, and then leading F-35 Squadron operations as a Director of Operations in the F-35 Squadron at Hill Air Force Base. Looking back at his life and career, it's clear that he's a visionary and finds ways to achieve his goals. His record is filled with phrases from his supervisors and commanders saying things like, he's always pushing forward, he's visionary, he's well ahead of others, and he created proactive cultures. He is prepared, he is visionary, and he is the right person to bring into command as the 315th Fighter Squadron begins a new phase of its history, looking forward and setting the path for others to follow. Lieutenant Colonel White is the right person to be disciplined in pursuit of the mission, to deliver ready forces, to develop resilient airmen and families, and to empower airmen to be resourceful. Congratulations, Trench. Command is a solemn responsibility, but it's so rewarding, and you are the right person to lead the 315th Fighter Squadron.
Thank you, Colonel Massaro. Ladies and gentlemen, the Commander, 158th Fighter Wing, Colonel Davis Shevchuk.
Team in the back, please stand at ease. Just a few comments. I didn't want to miss out on the opportunity. Mason and I have known each other for a long time. So I wanted to be able to have some parting comments. All good, of course. But I really want to take this opportunity to welcome and thank you and your family. Thank Ruth and the boys. I know they can't be here. I know they're watching. Sounds like there's a lot of family that now can be here. So I wanted to take this opportunity to say thanks to Ruth, thanks to Ethan, and thanks to Noah for their support as well. I appreciate Kelvin. Thanks for making the trip. Thanks for coming up here, Colonel Massaro. It means a lot, especially when you have a lot of TFI units to go around to. So it definitely it means a lot for you to be here. Trench, congrats, welcome. You have big shoes to fill. To Kim, Alana, and Aaron, welcome. You're not really integrated into the team. You are part of the team. And the team here should know that, and hopefully you feel that. I know we work through some different processes, but when it comes to getting the job done in the mission, it's the same team. So whatever you need, we're right here with you, even though we might have a different number as part of our organization. You are part of the 158 Fighter Wing team and family. Mace, I gotta say, I was looking over the assignments. We were together, it was about 15 or 16 years ago at Shaw, and time goes by fast. And I gotta say, you are one of the most compassionate, genuine leaders that I've ever met. I knew that then as a captain, even though we were younger, naive fighter pilots then, but I saw that out of you as a commander. And hopefully this team have felt it and sensed it, who you are, because the thing that you achieve the most, that I think you did achieve, is the respect of those you serve. No one can give you that. No one can make that happen. You earn it. And you've more than earned it from me and from your team. You have a heart of gold. I mean that in a lot of ways. You have a heart of steel. And I mean that in a lot of ways too. But you've always been that way inside and outside the cockpit. So again, I appreciate. Thank you for what you've done here. On behalf of a grateful fighter wing here, I'd like to bring Chief Stebbins. If you would, Chief, come on up here as well. It's a small token of appreciation. We have a few things we'd like to present to you. The first is our fighter wing command coin. It's a new one, and they're numbered. And we thought it appropriate that you get 315. There will only be one of those, and you were kind of the first for the transition to the F-35. So it's put the Vermonters ahead, and you've certainly done that. You've helped put our wing ahead and not integrated the team, but you've been absolutely part of the team and instrumental in getting that here and taking care of that team. So thank you. And then the other thing we'd like to present on behalf of the fighter wing here is a picture, and thanks for Tamara put this together on behalf of the wing. This was a picture that was just taken at Northern Lightning. It looks like it's photoshopped. It's actually not, but on behalf of the wing, that starry night over Northern Lightning, you were over there with us. You've always been there with us. Your team was there and doing an exceptional job, so thank you very much, Mace.
Thank you, Colonel Shevchuk. At this time, Colonel Massaro will present Colonel Barta with the Meritorious Service Medal. Attention to orders. Lieutenant Colonel Jason R. Barta distinguished himself in the performance of outstanding service to the United States as Commander, 315th Fighter Squadron, 495th Fighter Group, Headquarters 9th Air Force, South Burlington, Vermont. During this period, Colonel Barta commanded over 60 airmen operating 3 different aircraft across 4 geographically separated units, including the United States Air Force's first active associate F-35A Squadron. In this role, he led the conversion of 18 F-16 maintenance airmen to the F-35A while executing a permanent change of station plan, receiving 18 additional 5th-generation trained operations and maintenance personnel, and facilitating the effective conversion of the Air National Guard's first ever F-35A wing. Additionally, his dynamic leadership enabled the extension of a $210,000 housing contract and advocated for a long-term housing solution, guaranteeing the safety and welfare for 14 unaccompanied airmen. Furthermore, Colonel Barta perfectly executed and closed out unit funds totaling $988,000 over 3 fiscal years, which secured living quarters and enhanced readiness and training for squadron personnel. Finally, he energized the squadron's Key Spouse program while spearheading the squadron's first ever assignment incentive pay initiative, integrating 2 key spouses into the unit functions and establishing a $245,000 incentive program to bolster retention and quality of life for more than 50 airmen. The singularly distinctive accomplishments of Colonel Barta reflect great credit upon himself and the United States Air Force. At this time, Senior Master Sergeant Justin Martell will present Colonel Barta with the departing gift on behalf of the squadron. And everybody may be seated. The 315th Fighter Squadron wanted to provide Colonel Barta with a replica guidon of the one that flew during his time as their commander. Because the guidon is such a sacred symbol, the squadron did not want to present it without some other tokens of appreciation. Each group within the 158th Fighter Wing has been touched and graced by someone within the 315th. To show their appreciation, each group has given their challenge coin to Colonel Barta. When you accumulate all these things together, you get a memorable piece that will not only be able to go with you, it will remind you that you are and will forever be a part of the 315th Fighter Squadron and a forever Green Mountain Boy. Stage is yours, sir.
General Harder, distinguished visitors, commanders, chiefs, VTANG members, all the friends and family that are watching from afar on live stream for both myself and Trench, and of course for all the airmen of the 315th Fighter Squadron. Thank you for being here, especially during this unprecedented time for our nation, and quite frankly, an extremely busy time for the VTANG. I'm truly humbled and appreciative that you guys are here today. Sergeant Jurger, Tamara, thanks for all the work you put into this. These things don't just happen, and you guys are doing an outstanding job in leading all these airmen to make it happen. PA, thank you for the live stream. Like Colonel Shevchuk mentioned, it's awesome. There's lots of people who are able to watch this that would not have gotten a chance to see this in person. You're all doing a great job. So being a squadron commander over the past 2 years has truly been remarkable. You may or may not know, but every squadron commander takes possession of that guidon right there with the perfect idea of what their command is going to be like. Some days that idea, that vision of command, it goes exactly as you plan it. Sometimes it doesn't, and that's okay. Because no matter how it went for me, there were dozens, and I truly mean that, dozens of airmen, friends, coworkers, family, and many others who accompanied me on this journey to advise, to motivate, to inspire, or to just simply listen. These people, many of whom are here, are the ones who've made my command fulfilling. And with that in mind, please indulge me a few minutes as I say several shout-outs and thank yous to some very important people that were such a big part of this command. To the commanders and superintendents throughout the wing, thank you for making our RegAF Airmen an integral part of the team and working really hard to maintain strong relationships between all of us, amongst multiple chains of command, multiple commanders, multiple supervisors, superintendents, and MAJCOMs. These relationships have made a huge difference in the lives of our airmen, and I appreciate all the work that you've done to keep them strong. To our wing's wellness team, so First Sergeants, Will, Trish, Serena, you selflessly and professionally take care of our airmen, especially during the most challenging of situations. Thank you for your support. We all genuinely appreciate your dedication to our airmen's well-being and all the work that you do. To the pilots, keep getting the job done. Conversion is obviously a steep hill to climb, but quite frankly, I have no doubt that you'll continue to make it look very, very easy. And Gummy, thanks for being part of my Finney flight. I don't remember it well, nor do I remember who led our two-ship or the type of sortie we flew. But there are a few things that I am certain of. One, it was the best brief either of us had ever heard. The execution was flawless, and every weapon was valid. Also, I was never defensive. And the debrief was extremely short because, well, the execution was flawless, and I was never defensive. That's the way I'll remember it. Don't try to change my mind. Now, for all of you who've been to more than one change of command, you may know the part of an outgoing commander's speech where they thank their spouse and family. Now, Ruth, Ethan, and Noah aren't here today. Hopefully, they are watching the live stream. Ruth, Ethan, and Noah, you have been an inspiration for me, not only here in Vermont, but also the 7-ish assignments that we have been a family together for, including multiple overseas moves. I love you very much, and I'll be home again soon. Yes, boys, I'm bringing you gifts. Yes, Ruth, I've got plenty of maple syrup and Vermont beer in the truck. Now, again, if you had seen one or two of these, this is also where I would tell Ruth that I wouldn't be here if it weren't for her. And although that may be figuratively true, there's another group of people that I can say quite literally that without them I wouldn't be here. Sergeant Matt Gay, Fire Department's A Shift, also Anita, Nick, and Peter from St. Mike's Rescue. Without you, I truly wouldn't be here. On a cold January day, you jumped into action to save somebody you had never met. You saved my life on that day and gave my family and I the most precious of gifts, time. Quite literally, I wouldn't be here today if it weren't for you. Thank you for the gift of time and of life, and thank you for everything that all of you do each and every day to make our community and this world a better place. Oh, an interesting side note, by the way, for everybody. If you let the fire department give you CPR and you let them shock you with the defibrillator twice, your kids can go on the fire trucks as many times as they want. It's a true story. I wouldn't necessarily recommend it, but it's a true story. Now to the members of the 315th Fighter Squadron. First, to our wonderful key spouses, Sam and Cheryl. You've taken our key spouse program to the next level and have done a wonderful job supporting our squadron spouses. Thank you for the motivation and dedication that you bring to the job and for all the support you've given us as well as the rest of the wing. Ruth and I cannot thank you enough for everything you've given us. I would also be remiss if I didn't single out Senior Master Sergeant Martell, the squadron superintendent. You've been my most trusted advisor to this command. You're an incredible person, an amazing superintendent. Thank you for guiding me over the last couple of years. Trench, Kim, Alana, Aaron, welcome. You're joining and taking command of the finest group of airmen in the Air Force. Yeah, I'm biased. But you'll quickly learn that is true. The best of luck to all of you during this command. For the airmen of the 315th Fighter Squadron, both here and watching from our other operating locations, I am extraordinarily proud of you. And I hope that you're proud of what you've achieved. I'm a bit of a military history nerd, and one thing that I have learned while reading military history is that small yet important parts of military stories aren't always told in books. With every event, there are small tactical level actions that lead to every victory, and seldom are recorded. And when the history books are written and reference the Air National Guard's TFI program or the V-Tank's conversion to the F-35, the tactical level achievements by a small squadron of active duty airmen may only be a footnote, but they are significant. When flying operations moved over there to the civilian side of the airfield because of construction, you were all there. When we asked you to fix aircraft, drive fuel trucks, move parts, shovel snow by hand to dig out jets after snowstorm after snowstorm after snowstorm, while at this alternate location, you all rose to the occasion. When all of our airmen across 4 separate geographical locations, mind you, were tasked for deployments, you spent long hours to make it happen, enabling some of you to deploy alongside our Guard partners. And when the wing needed to go TDY to Eglin for 3 months, you said, send me. When we then had a short notice return from Eglin during the outbreak of nothing less than a global pandemic, you said, we got this. When we asked you to execute the steepest of learning curves to help the VTANG divest the F-16, learn a new airplane, and prepare with the VTANG to be the Air National Guard's first combat F-35 wing, you said, bring it. Over the last couple of years, you stood shoulder to shoulder with our Air National Guard brothers and sisters in Burlington, DC, Atlantic City, and Barnes. You've deployed and flown alert missions supporting our nation's defense. You've accomplished countless important tactical achievements, and you've done it all with professionalism and skill. I am so very proud of you. So what's next for you? I don't think exactly any of us know what life will be like over the next few years, but I'm certain that the ops tempo will continue to accelerate. I don't think anyone has any doubts about that. As it does, and as I sit at my desk at Shaw and remember the days that I commanded this outstanding group of airmen, I have some favors to ask of you. Keep executing with energy, focus, and passion. Your individual motivation is what keeps this entire team moving forward, and it's what will form the bedrock of your combat readiness. Keep taking care of each other. No matter where you physically work, we are all part of the same team. Look out for one another, ask your wingmen how they're doing, and help them when needed. And finally, never, ever give up. You will have the skill to accomplish a very difficult mission, and you'll always have the leadership support to make it happen. Never give up on yourself. We will never give up on you. Colonel Massaro, a sincere thank you to you, Colonel Allison, and Colonel Dean for having faith in me as a commander. Again, thank you to everyone for being here. I wish you the best of luck in the years ahead.
Thank you, Colonel Barta. The change of command ceremony you're going to witness today is a military tradition deeply rooted in history and dates back to the time of Roman legions. In that period, military organizations developed flags that were unique to the organization with specialized colors and designs. When the warriors followed their leaders into battle, they kept sight of the flag. If the banner still waved after the conflict, it was a sign that their side had not tasted defeat on the field of battle. Having this position of importance, the flag was incorporated into the change of command ceremony. The organizational banner was exchanged in public for all to witness that the one who holds the flag is a unchallenged leader. The modern day ceremony is symbolic, yet it still indicates to all the authority of the incoming commander and the finest military traditions, the outgoing commander surrenders the flag and says, "I relinquish command." The flag is then passed to the new commander who says, "I assume command." This gesture is accomplished in front of the unit so that everyone can see and witness their new leader assuming his dutiful position. The symbolic tradition has survived through military history, and this afternoon will serve as the key event of the solemn military ceremony. Today, with 8 simple words and the passing of the flag, command of the 315th Fighter Squadron will transfer from Lieutenant Colonel Jason R. Barta to Lieutenant Colonel Christopher J. White. The instant Lieutenant Colonel White takes the flag from Colonel Massaro, he assumes command of the 315th Fighter Squadron and all the responsibilities that the position entails. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the official change of command.
Good afternoon. First off, Tech Sergeant Jerger, thank you for leading your team and put this whole event together. I'll bet on this windy day in these unprecedented times. Thank you to you and Staff Sergeant Fraley for narrating, Staff Sergeant Turner, A1C Torres, A1C Shepard, A1C Barnes, for everything you did to make this a success. Thank you for everyone attending today, and a special thank you to all our friends and family watching via live stream. All of our families are currently living in COVID hotspots in Southern California and Florida, so you can imagine why they couldn't make the trip during these trying times. My parents, Ken and Mary, my sister Megan and her husband Ryan, Kim's parents, Harriet and Anop, Kim's brother Mark and his wife Andrea, my best friend Jeff, all couldn't make it here today. So for me and Kim, we love you all. Stay safe, and we hope to see you all real soon. Mace, I cannot thank you enough, and you and Ruth, for how you made us feel so welcomed and helped us get settled in, so we could hit the ground running. We're going to continue building on all the great work that you did at the helm and make the 315th Fighter Squadron that much more lethal. Colonel Massaro, sir, it is an honor to serve with you again. I greatly appreciate this opportunity to lead, your kind words today and your mentorship. To the 388th leadership back at Hill, who couldn't make it here today, Colonel Beamer, Colonel Wood, Foreman Helesto, Jesus Cavazos, thank you for your confidence in me and your mentorship and guidance to prepare me for this amazing opportunity. To the Green Mountain Boys of the 158th Fighter Wing, and General Knight and General Harder, thank you so much for being here today. It is an honor to join your team and serve alongside with you. We will together meet the Wing's goal of C1 in 2021 and be ready to deploy our total force team wherever our great country needs to project decisive 5th-gen air power. To the men and women of the 315th Fighter Squadron, I'm honored to serve you as your squadron commander. Our mission is as diverse as our backgrounds. We are called upon to generate decisive air power by providing combat-ready aircraft and airmen for the total force. Our 3 operating locations fly the proven F-15C and F-16 platforms. Here at Burlington, we maintain and fly the F-35, an aircraft designed to kick in the door and forcibly take airspace away from an adversary. I have 3 priorities for you: mission, people, and innovation. I believe that a true leader serves his or her people and accomplishes the mission by taking care of their needs, removing bureaucratic obstacles, so they are empowered to create innovative solutions to evolving problem sets. In this complex world, where 5th-gen air power is needed more than ever, know that our adversaries are watching, and we cannot afford to rest on our laurels. Be the expert in your field, take pride in what you do, and most importantly, take care of each other. Together, our TFI team will be a combat-ready force that is humble, disciplined, and lethal. And finally, to my amazing family, Bet some of you forgot. Thought I forgot, huh? Our bright and beautiful daughter, Erin, you're growing into a confident young woman ready to take on any life challenge. For everyone here, she is absolutely terrifying on the jiu-jitsu mats. And to our sassy, now 5-year-old Alana, I cannot believe it's already time for you to start kindergarten. You're smart, insightful, and you certainly keep us on your toes. And lastly, and most importantly, Kim, you've taken every challenge life has thrown at you and us with tenacity and grace. I can't imagine sharing this crazy life journey with anyone else. I fall in love with you more each day, and I can't wait to see what's next in store in this adventure. And with that, thank you again, everybody, for joining us today. I need to give my family some flowers. I'll see you all soon.
White. Ladies and gentlemen, the commander, 315th Fighter Squadron, Colonel White. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes the ceremony. We would like to once again thank Colonel Barta and his family for his tireless dedication to the 315th and remind him that he will forever be a Green Mountain Boy. Thank you for attending today's event. Please join us at the Ops Heritage Room in Building 140 for refreshments. At this time, we ask you to please stand for the singing of the Air Force song and the departure of the official party and our distinguished visitors.